a experimental video. So I'm having another go at Grand Charlie. I've made it before. It's cured and then air dried pig's cheeks. I want to have another go because the first batch was particularly a success. So I thought I'll have another go. So I've bought another couple of pig's heads. They're even cheaper this time. They were £3 a head instead of £4 a head. And I asked for them to save me a couple of big heads. So we've got some nice big pig cheeks which are curing. This time I'm curing them in just some salt in what we call it, in a vacuum sealed bag. Actually thinking about it, I don't think that's. I think I should whip that off. We might just have to have a look at those when we pull them out of the back bag, because I think that might be a gland that I should really trim off. But it'll be fine, I'll just need to whip it off with a knife. But anyway, so doing 4 Grand Charlies, that's 2 of them, the other 2 are in the fridge, and then there's all the bits of trimmings of meat and like head meat from the pig's head, which I was kind of thinking, what shall I do with? And I was thinking, well, let's see if it's a bit of hair. That I'll just get rid of that. So what I was thinking was, since I've got some sausage casings, we'll have a go at turning the there's another hair there as well. We'll have a go at turning the head meat into chorizos and see how it turns out. So I've diced it up. I'm going to mince it, and then I'm going to weigh it, and then we'll form it into chorizos. So you don't need to see me mincing it, but I will then mix it, and we'll then form some chorizos, and that's kind of quite an interesting kind of process. So we'll show that, and then I've got a new idea for an air dryer. So I'm not going to dry them in the fridge. I'm going to make an air dryer with a lot of ingenuity out of interest. So that leaves another part to the video as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I should really crack on with it instead of waffling, which I always do. But anyway, that's that. The next process will be actually mixing together and forming the sausages. Right. So I think that pork meat is nice and dark. It's a little lean. I think I'd like a bit more fat in that for chorizos. So what I have got is I've got my bacon that's curing. So every year I make bacon for Christmas, give it as gifts, or swapsies. If someone's got something that I might kind of quite like, I swap it for a bit of bacon. It's got a nice bit of fat along the edge as the bacon, so I might just whip off that fat there and put that in with there, just to kind of make it a little bit more fatty. I think that's what I'll do. And since the bacon's cured now and it's drying, so that won't be a problem. I think I've put a little bit of cured pork meat in with chorizos before, so we'll just whip that bit off there and put that in there. You don't need to see that, but it'll just be me taking it off and dicing it and then mincing it and then mixing it in. There we go. That's a lovely bit of fat from the end of the bacon. Would I have trimmed it off anyway? Probably not. I probably would have left that bacon fat on because it would have made nice bacon. But I've just whipped off the skin, and it'll just be a simple case of just making it a little bit easier for the mincer to kind of cope with, because it's just a domestic mincer that I've got. So just cube it up like that, and then the mincer can kind of cope a little bit better, and then we'll put that through the mincer, mix it in with the pork meat, and then that'll make that should be about the right kind of ratio of fat. I think probably wants a little bit more, but I think that'll be fine. Right then, pig's head meat chorizos. It's minced. I've had the fat. Was that in the other part of the video? I can't remember. I've made other videos since then, and I've lost a bit of track of time. So there's about 1.1 kilos of meat. So therefore, per kilo of meat, there needs to be 20 grams worth of salt, which is, when we're making salamis, that's what the ratio we kind of need. 20 grams of salt per kilo of meat and fat. So the total weight of the meat and fat per kilo of that is 20 grams of salt, and there is so there's a little bit more. So there's 22 grams, and then but if we're going to pretend there's a kilo in there, I could have lied. I didn't, because I can't. So there is 20 grams worth of salt, 30 grams worth of paprika, about 5 grams worth of cumin seeds. I was going to put some fennel seeds in, but I haven't got fennel seeds. But I've made salamis with cumin seeds in the past, and they were nice. So cumin seeds, 5 grams worth of cumin seeds, and about 3 grams worth of cracked black pepper. I think that's everything. So we need to put that in there, mix it around, and then put through the sausage machine. So it'd be a case of mixing and then putting the meat into the hopper, which is just here, and then I'll wash my hands, and then we'll make some chorizos. Oh, and I've got a little bit of cheap white wine left. So that's going to go in as well, because I did see a recipe for chorizo in the past and they use red wine. I haven't got red wine. I have, actually, but I want to drink that. And I'm not that bothered about this cheap wine. So we might as well put this cheap wine in and see how that kind of turns out. So, herbs and spices in. White wine in. It might just mean that it takes a little bit longer to dry out, putting liquid in. So, mix it together, making sure that all that fat's... Oh, it smells nice because of the wine. Oh, that's going to be quite interesting. Obviously, you know, I mean, as always, the better quality wine that you'd use, the better quality paprika, the better quality pork, all improve something. But, you know, I think just because you can't, okay, no, that's the wrong thing to say. Just because more expensive wine isn't in your budget, that's a nice way of putting it. Just because expensive wine isn't in your budget and good quality, really good quality organic pork isn't in your budget, doesn't mean that you can't have a go at things. You know, I think it's quite a snobby thing to kind of do and say that you should have to put the best quality ingredients into something. You don't have to. You know, you can still get some really good results with cheaper ingredients and still have a go at things. And, you know, if you're going to have a go at something, you want to do it cheap the first time. To make it kind of expensive the first time, if it doesn't work out, it's like twice as heartbreaking, isn't it, really? So, because you've wasted the more money and it hasn't gone right. So you can start cheap and work your way up, you know. Anyway, it's a bit of a rant. Maybe I'm a little bit hangry. So we have to work quickly. We have to get the salt mixed in, because then what happens is the moisture starts to come out of the pork. So that into the hopper thing. Oh, I need to just move that light. It's a little bit better, right? No, I don't need to wash my hand, do I? Because I need to feed the stuff through. I don't want to call it. Hopefully the sausage maker will work. I actually looked at the instructions this time. So start it slowly. Alright, okay. Let's turn it off first. We need a long length. So what's going to happen is I need a longer length because we're actually going to use the sausage casings to tie everything up. So start that going again. And there we go. So slowly. You don't need to do it on a fast speed. Just needs to be steady. And I don't want these too long this time. So it's going to be a bit of a balancing act. That'll do. So, yeah, I think that's going to be fine. Right, so we want a long length. And I'll just wash my hands for this bit. Yeah, just wash my hands. If I was a professional, I would have carried on pushing the mixture through, but I'm not. Well, I am a professional at something, but just not chorizo making. So we'll just, I haven't got the scissors, I'll just have to use a knife. So we'll just whip that off there, like that. And then we're going to use the length of of the sausage casing to actually hold up the chorizo while it's drying. So it looks like it's a decent kind of length. It's that. So we'll tie a knot there, and we'll tie a knot there like that, and then we'll tie this behind that knot so it holds it in place. Well, we'll tie a knot and then we'll thread it through. Slippy. The casings are slippy. The natural casings. So, because we're going to tie a bit of a longer length, because we're going to tie the knot behind that knot, it's not going to slip off like that. And then just can we get another knot in there? It'll dry out with the sausage casing that's holding it up, and then quite quickly, and it'll just be like a bit of string. So there we go. So that's how it's going to hold up. We'll just whip that off later. So, and because that knot's there, it's all going to hold itself up. So that's fine. Right, so we'll do another one. Bit of a length off. We can tie that one off now, because that's as long as we use that as the end that's got the knot in. From that back there, we don't want to waste in the sausage casings, and then push through it again. So I'll do another one, and then you kind of get the idea. Nope. There's that. What's happened there? Oh, that's okay, that's fine. It's not going to be a long enough length. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. That will do. So, pinch there. It's going to be a long enough length. Pull excess sausage casing off. Why is that stuck? I think it's stuck itself. Something's not happy there. We'll sort that out in a minute. That seems to have got it. Okay. Something's gone wrong, but that'll be fine. So whip that off. Like that. Oh. That's what happened. I'm going to cut it. There. So, I think that's got a double layer of casing on that little bit there. But anyway. So tie. Start again. Through. There we go, that's better. And then tie that bit behind the knot, like that, and then a double knot, making sure both knots go behind the knot, and then it's not going to slip off, because the sausage casings are slippy. Oh, see, there you go. Try again. I think it's important to show things when you get things wrong. It can be a bit disheartening when you see people and they're just perfect at things. It's something to aspire to, but can be a little bit off-putting if you kind of think to yourself, I'd never be able to do something like that, which you should never say. The chances that you can do something. So that, take that off. There we go, that's going to work, isn't it? Yeah, that'll be fine. So, work that one off there. So there you go. I don't need to see another one, do you? I'm going to carry on doing these, and then these need to hang up, and we just need to prick them. So there'll be some little air pockets that we just need to stick a pin in, just to let some air out, and then what we call it, and then we'll hang them up overnight, and then we'll put them in the dryer tomorrow, and they'll dry out for a few days. I think I'll probably try one after a few days actually, and see how it turns out, and then it'll be kind of, because you know you can't cook sausages straight away, so we'll leave them a couple of days, and then we might just try one. We'll probably try that one because I'm not happy about that. I think the sausage casing's doubled on itself, but anyway, there we go. We'll see what they're like in a couple of days, and then we'll see. The part 2 to this will be in a couple of weeks' time or something like that. Oh no, I need to show the dryer, don't I? Yeah, so I need to make the dryer first. Yeah, so I'll make the dryer tonight, and then you'll be able to see the dryer in action. So, I have neglected these chorizos that I made with the pigs, for the meat from the pigs' heads. And they've gone a little bit furry. So, it's white fur at the moment. It's not any kind of black or green or blue mold, so it's white. So I should taste a bit and smell a bit, and then can we save it? Is kind of my kind of question. I think I'm slightly concerned. What I have done in the past is I've salted them on the outside to kind of draw a bit of moisture out. But what happened was, when I was making them, I didn't notice at the time, but some of them had the sausage casings were like double thickness in some places on some of these. So they haven't. So like that one looks like it's okay, and that there, I think that's single thickness there, but there, that's double thickness. So they've not kind of just drawn out quick enough. So I'm kind of a little bit annoyed with myself, and I wanted to do something else. I wanted to make like a drying box with a fan at one end and battery powered, to kind of see if I could get that to work. But I just got too busy with other things, and it was just after all functions finished, and it was just kind of before Christmas. So, and I still had lots to do, and I just kind of got sidetracked with it all. So I would just thought, oh, I'll just leave them in the fridge, and we'll kind of see what happens. So let's have. I don't want to get any bacteria on my board, so let's have a look at one. We'll have a look at this one. We'll leave those in there, but I think I'm gonna wash them with a bit of vinegar and water, and then we'll kind of see. They smell alright. It's not as if they smell off. So I'll wash them with a bit of water and vinegar, and then put a bit of salt on. Prick them with a pin, and then kind of see what happens. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but just, I don't think you can, but just there I can see it. I can see that that's a double thickness of sausage casing, and that single case there, so there's just that line there. So kind of my fault really, but yeah, we live and learn, don't we? But anyway, so let's see if we can save these. So that's the one we're gonna. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll cut into this one first, and then we'll kind of see what's kind of happening. They're a bit soft. They're about 3 weeks old. I would have. That looks okay inside. That looks okay inside. I daren't eat it. I daren't eat it raw. I don't know if it's dried out enough that it's not gonna make me poorly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fry a bit off, and then we'll kind of see how it tastes, and then if it is worth saving them. They have been fried off, so they don't smell horrible or anything like that. I was kind of thinking actually, I think I added wine, some leftover white wine to this batch of chorizo, so maybe they were a little bit wet to start off with. But anyway, so let's give it a try. No, it tastes fine. Actually tastes pretty good. So, I think they're worth saving. So because we've got a little bit of mould growth on there, I'm concerned about the fridge. So I'm going to give the fridge a good clean, because potentially there will be, that mould growth will have got somewhere in the fridge. It's a separate fridge. So that's kind of fine, but I don't want, even if we wash those, potentially there'll be that mould still in the fridge. So I'll clean the fridge, wash those off with a bit of vinegar and water, just to kind of kill any potential bacteria that's not going to be a good thing, and then put a bit of salt on, and hopefully that'll draw out some of the excess moisture. Prick them with a bit of a pin, and then hopefully that will work. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't think you need to see that process, do you? But I'll probably do like a 50-50 ratio of vinegar and water. That should be acidic enough just to kind of kill off any bacteria, but that's nice. And if it don't work, I suppose I could just write this one off, wash them off, and then freeze them, or cook with them straight away, and kind of use them that kind of way. But I think I'd like to kind of quite maybe use this as an opportunity to carry on the experiment and see if we can save them. But that's like a nice sausage in that. It seems ashamed to waste them. So we can actually use the meat from the pig's head to make a nice sausage. It needs a bit more fat in it, but we'll live and learn, don't we? Right, so vinegar and water, and we'll just give these, might as well use it all, just give these a little bit of a bath. I can see, I wonder if I can peel that outside skin off. I wonder if I can peel it off. Well, that's definitely got two on. I don't think that one has. I think that's just picked up the a little bit of nasty mould. So put that out of the way. That's definitely got two layers on it. I wonder if I can peel one off. Well, what I could do, if I don't peel it off, I can always cook with it this week. That was alright. I'll just get a sharp blade and see if I can peel that extra layer of sausage casing off. I might just be able to nick it. You never know. You never know. Right, so I don't advise anyone to do this. I think it's really dodgy, but hang on. Right, I have a blade. No, it's the two layers are fused together. It's just like the sausage. No, not worked. That's alright. I can use that sausage for something this week. It's fine underneath. Or is it just extra thick? fine. It looks like it's thick. Maybe it wasn't doubled over. I don't know. I don't know. That'll be fine. Right. What have we got? Move that out of the way. Just like that. And then the clean bowl. Actually, I won't use a bowl. I'll use some kitchen paper to dry these off on. Just to get off that extra vinegar moisture. They don't look very pleasant at all. They just need to dry out a bit more. See, that one's firmed up quite well. So it's just the colour of the skins that's making them look a bit grotty. But if we just salt them, we'll dry out some excess moisture, and that'll kill any bacteria. Really, probably really dangerous what I'm doing. Like spoilt meat. It's not spoilt, but you live and learn, don't you? So I'm just going to use free running salt just so it'll stick on. It's already drying out some of the moisture. So we'll cover that and leave it overnight in the fridge and kind of see what happens. Might be a bit salty, but it'll be fine. It's just drying out some of that excess moisture. Right, so off the hands again. And there we go. Cover it with a little cling film. We'll have a look at those in the morning and see what's happened. Right, so some liquids come out of them. So they're going to dry a bit better. We'll get the excess. Wipe the excess salt off them. Yeah, they feel a lot firmer. We'll see what happens with these. There might be a write-off. We'll give them a couple of days and see how they look like in the fridge. But I think they'll be okay. The salt's just drawn out any excess moisture that we're struggling to get through. Maybe the skins are just a bit thicker than normal. That might be a problem. I don't know if they're double skinned or if the skin's just a bit thicker than normally they are. I don't know. I don't know. That'll be fine. Or it might, I might have miscalculated how much salt I put in the mix. I might go up to 3% next time. Next time I make some. But anyway, so that liquid came out. That's not a bad thing. Just needs to dry it a bit quicker. So we'll hang those back up in the fridge, and we'll see how they turn out. Right, so it's been like a couple of weeks since I washed and resalted the chorizos, and it looks like it's worked. So it's stopped any kind of nasty bacterial growth. They taste nice. They were delicious in what I cooked them in. It was a shushushka, and they were particularly delicious. So we know that the meat from the pig's head can be turned into a chorizo. Just needs a little bit more fat. But I wouldn't, if I was ever kind of making guanciales again or anything like that, I wouldn't hesitate from using the meat from that, along with something else like some belly, which got a nice fat content to it. I wouldn't think twice about using the head meat into putting it into chorizo to kind of like bulk it out and not kind of waste it. But anyway, so that was kind of the experiment. It worked. It tastes nice. So that's kind of it. They'll be alright in the fridge for another few weeks, and I'll probably end up using them over the next couple of days, so that's fine. I suppose they're about a month old by now, probably. Yes, about a month old, so they are fine. It's done the job. But anyway, there we go. Delicious.